meat. This is the cap of the rump, and I've taken most of the fat off. Doesn't matter, you can do this same dish with lamb, goat, pork, whatever. And if you want to have a bit of fat in there, I reckon that's just more flavour. Now the next thing I'm going to do is with my sharp knife, I'm just going to cut down through the middle here. Of course you could buy some diced beef from your butcher, but wouldn't it be more fun to dice it up yourself? And all I do is slice straight through the middle here, being very careful not to cut myself. And what I do now is I cut these strips. They're about 1 centimetre apart. And what this will do is allow me to cut a beautiful thin dice that'll be lovely and hold flavour and cook nice and quickly. Now I'm using the cap of the rump here, which is not a cheap cut, but a more expensive cut. This is something that would be great to cook as a steak, but I want this to cook a little bit quickly so I can actually eat it because I'm hungry. But if you wanted to use something like brisket or shoulder or another piece of meat, go for it. It'll just take a little bit longer to cook. Now all I do is just cut straight through here. There's a little bit of fat in this meat, which will help to give it moisture when it's cooking. And all I do with my rump is pop it into my bowl there. And what I'm going to do is add some cumin. Some cumin that's been ground and lightly toasted. Pop that in there like that. A nice splash of olive oil. You can use vegetable if you want, but olive oil I reckon tastes fantastic. And of course, salt. Because salt loves meat and meat loves salt. There's about a tablespoon of salt in there because I want it to really flavour the meat. A good couple of twists of pepper in there and give it a shake. Just mix the olive oil into the meat so when I put it into my pan, it'll actually just fall apart. Often when you put meat into a fry pan, if it's not oiled, it'll actually stick together and you have to spend your time breaking it apart. Now what I should do is marinate this for a couple of hours or at least overnight and let the flavours get in there. But what I'll do is I'll get some garlic and give that a quick crush like that. All I'm going to do is I'll add to this, I want to put a bit of garlic in here. Now when I'm cooking these sort of dishes, often I'll put the garlic in the olive oil and fry it, but if I'm going to marinate it at all, even if it is for a couple of seconds, you can put the garlic with the meat. So as the meat's cooking, you get this beautiful flavour of the garlic all the way through it. And all I do is throw that straight into the meat. Now my pan, I've got it on a high heat. And what I want to do is brown this off. Here we go. You can smell this is going to be good already. But of course, if you let it sit for, 24 hours in the fridge, it would taste even better. But you know what? I'm hungry. So I put a bit of olive oil into my pan, and I know this is going to be nice and hot. Now, what you want to do is, often people put the whole lot of meat in there at once. It's a good idea to maybe brown it in batches, depending on the heat you get from your fry pan. You can put that in there. See that? Hear that sizzle? That's what you want to hear when you're browning meat off. And only put a little bit in at a time. Just turn it around like that. Plenty of oil in there. And the reason I use good oil is because the oil is going to be part of the dish. I don't mind if I use a lot of it because it's actually going to make the dish flavoursome. And I'll pop this other pot over here and put that on a high heat. You can see, as I turn this already, it's already starting to brown off. And that's what I want. Now all I need to do is just carefully, just take the beef off the top there like that. I'll try and leave a little bit of oil in the bottom here. Now this is the way I do a lot of my cooking. From one pan into the other. So you've got